Hello you guys, my name is Dawson. Welcome back to the Hall of Anime. Today we are going to be going over, not going over actually, but just we're going to be reading slash playing slash just, looking at katawa shoujo. I've heard a lot of really good things about katawa shoujo. I'm going to turn down the music a bit. That's good. I'm really liking this. I've been listening to it for about the last, I'd say 20 minutes or so. I've just been getting, all the stuff together to get this playing and everything, and I've been trying out different things. I was trying to play full screen, but with my recording stuff, it's just not possible. So I've just been playing mediums. I'm just going to be playing in the window now, which is okay. I don't mind it. But anyways, yeah, we are going, I don't think that'll be out next week. I think this will come out first before that, but basically in my Tales of the Abyss, whatchamacallit review, because I finished that anime, the one that I just started. I did a review on it at the end, or towards the end. I talked about playing some different, like, games like this, and some MMOs based around anime, and just some other types of things for this channel, because this is an anime channel, and this is a different part of otaku anime life, is visual novels. And yeah, I've heard of katawa shoujo. I'm sure that there are people out there who have also. It is supposed to be one of the better ones, one of the free better ones, and I thought I'd give it a try. So we're just gonna jump into it. It is an adult game, so I would recommend people, of certain age to be watching this, of course. So yeah. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy for far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now in the late winter it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in the cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Ah, yes, the note slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. My reading skills are terrible, you guys. I'm sorry about this. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently fall from the white painted sky from the only sign of time sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. The result of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching from behind. Hi, so you came? Hi, so, I can't pronounce it. Hiso? Hi. Okay, so, Haseo? I have no clue how they're supposed to pronounce this. I think it's Haisia or Hissa. Let me check this quick because I feel like I'm screwing this up. Hiseo? I'm just gonna pronounce it Hiseo. Oh shit, it started again. As far as glitches go, I'm more a fan. Oh, what? Oh, as I ponder the meaning, snowflakes. I wonder how this happened. H. Hiseo, you came? A hesitating, barely, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than eavesdropping to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. Iwanako? I had a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Damn it. I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result? Pathetic. Yes, I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle, even if I tried. My heart is pounding now, as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. So, here we are, out in the cold. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music to my ears. My vocabulary sucks. Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the gusts of wind. As it passes, she rights herself as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her long dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. Or growls. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. You see, I wanted to know if you'd go out with me. I stand there motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they're being stretched beyond the breaking point. Hiseo? I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Hiseo? My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shot open in terror. Hiseo? The beating in my chest suddenly stopped, and I got weak at the knees. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches and dull winter sky, Iwanako running towards me. All these fade to black. The last thing I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help, and the incessant clatter of branches above. heard this game was good, but that was a really good starting for, like, or not game, but like visual novel. That was a really good starting. You know, I've seen this starting once, but just going through it by myself, it's really good. I mean, I thought it was okay when I saw it in videos, but it's really good going through it by yourself. Again, I would just want to apologize quickly here for, my shitty talking. Vocab isn't my favorite, but I do like these visual novels. They're interesting. I like the stories. It's like reading a book with pictures. A picture book, as some might think, except they usually go a lot deeper. Things like that, I happen to like things like this. That's basically why. And, if it's your cup of tea, then that's always cool. And if it's not, then you don't need to watch it. It's here because I wanted it to be here. And, yeah. I'm going to have a problem with some of these Japanese names. Like those two, I'm pretty sure I pronounced at least one of them wrong. I think I pronounced one of them right. It didn't sound like a girl's name, but I'm hoping it was just like a, I'll start this in a sec, but I'm hoping it was just a family name, not like their full name. Otherwise, I really fucked that up because it didn't sound like a girl's name at all. Anyways, I think for this one, I'm going to make this episode go about 30 minutes, maybe between 30 minutes and an hour, and then every episode after that will be about 20 minutes long. Just want to make the first episode a bit longer than all the other ones for fun. And because I don't have much else to do, it's almost the end of the school year, we'll be out soon, and yeah. Well, let's jump right back into it. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia, a strange word, a foreign alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition that causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was. Supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages, apices. Like I said, vocabulary sucks. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. Oh, there we go. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. I need to quit clicking that button. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all that get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. Iwana was the last to stop visiting. Iwanaka, yeah. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anywhere. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital. It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impressional and faceless. Impressional. I guess it's because they are in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist everything, every time I saw him, for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I ideally observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly changed its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of an omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there's at least some hope. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I loved the stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred in some kind of gooey mass. I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalant shallowness. Yeah, I'd set up for myself. The page of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely. And I couldn't even cry. Okay, let's pause it for a second, you guys. I just need to get a drink quick. Sorry about this. Ugh, okay. All that talking. Anyway. Let us continue. Today the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them both. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There's the ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his papers, then setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Haiso. How are you today? I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medications sorted out. I will give your father the prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hands and take a look myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? The absurdly long list of medication staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, contradictions, and dosages are listed line after line with cold precision. I tried to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting it only makes me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life, every day. I'm afraid that this is the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Years? What kind of confidence boost is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please calm down, Hiseo. Hissa. I need somebody really tough, just seriously. Put how to pronounce that in the comments, because after this video, I'm just gonna look it up anyway. Whatever. I'll just look it up. But seriously, put it in the comments in case I forget. Listen to what the doctors has. Please calm down, Haiso. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Please calm down. The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever my concern shows it ignored. Well, we all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamuka Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What? Am I? It has a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to diagnose don't try to disguise that fact. If it was really that free, there wouldn't be 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to go to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look at a couple of weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to the other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This is an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamned opportunity. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and well, it's not the same one. A special school? That's an insult. That is what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. It's not what you think of the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right. And many of the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disabilities. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disabilities. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me. But what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I had always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now, something about how I can go back to school anyways, but no. I don't say anything. The fact is that I know now it's futile. I looked around the room, feeling very tired of all this. The hospital doctors, my condition, everything. I didn't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this, but the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on things, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it's a special school. It's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just reassign myself to think that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. Whew, that was a pretty good part too. I enjoyed it. Act 1, 30 minutes in. I think, you guys, that would be enough for this video. I actually kind of do think that. It's not because I don't like this. I actually really am enjoying this. But I think I'm going to end this here, and I think I'm actually going to possibly sit down and record the next one. But, you know, about 30 minutes, that's good for the first special. I'm thinking around, if I can figure out how much this, or what act is the final one and how long it is, maybe for the last one I'll do like an hour special or something like that. But I'm thinking that about 30 minutes for the first one's good, and then the next couple are probably going to be around 20 minutes each. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy Katawa Shoujo. Please help me out with some of these names. Please help me out with pronunciation of words, because I have a problem with that. I really do. But thank you all for watching. I am going to continue to post this even if you don't like it, so, you know, whatever. I am enjoying this game. I like these types of games. It's just reading. I enjoy reading. If the story is good enough, I will read it. But it has to be a good story, and so far this has been setting itself up very well. I don't even realize I'm reading. So, thank you all for watching. This has been Dawson, playing Katawa Shoujo, and I hope you guys come back for the next video. Thank you.